Every year, more people die from a single snake species than from almost any other venomous creature on Earth. Not the black mamba, not the king cobra. A snake most people outside of Asia have never even heard of. And the terrifying part, the question that scientists and doctors have wrestled with for decades, is not just how it kills. It is what it does to you before you die. Something so strange, so brutal, that no other snake venom on Earth works quite the same way. That answer is coming. But first, you need to understand the snake, the Russell's viper. Scientific name: Daboia russelii, named after Patrick Russell, a Scottish physician who documented it in India in the late 1700s. He called it the most dangerous snake he had ever encountered. He was not wrong. This snake is found across South and Southeast Asia: India, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Bangladesh, parts of Southeast Asia. It thrives in agricultural land, rice paddies, sugarcane fields. Exactly where millions of rural farmers work barefoot at night close to the ground. That overlap between human habitat and viper territory is the reason this snake kills so many people. It is estimated to be responsible for more snakebite deaths than any other species in the world, and it is not even particularly aggressive by nature. The problem is something else entirely. The Russell's viper is a nocturnal ambush predator. During the day, it rests, coiled and almost invisible, against dry leaves and soil. Its triangular head, dark brown body, and 3 rows of oval spots make it look, at a glance, like the ground itself. At dusk, it becomes something else. It hunts rodents primarily: rats, mice, small mammals. It follows scent trails, waits, strikes with explosive speed, and pulls back. The venom does the work from there. One strike, that is all it takes. The Russell's viper's fangs are long, up to 1.6 centimeters, and they fold back against the roof of the mouth when not in use. When the snake strikes, they swing forward in under a fraction of a second. They punch through skin like hollow needles, and what goes in with them is one of the most complex and destructive venoms in the natural world. This is not a venom that simply shuts down your nervous system. It does not paralyze you and stop there. Russell's viper venom attacks your blood, and the way it does it is unlike almost anything else. It triggers something called consumptive coagulopathy. Your blood begins to clot, everywhere, uncontrollably. And in the process, it uses up all the clotting factors your body has. Every last one. So after the initial clotting frenzy, your blood loses the ability to clot at all. You start bleeding from places that should never bleed. From gums, from injection sites, from your eyes. Internally, from organs. Doctors call it defibrillation syndrome. The blood simply stops working as blood. The venom of the Russell's viper is haemotoxic. It targets blood and tissue. But it is more than that. It is a cocktail of enzymes and proteins that attack on multiple fronts simultaneously. Beyond the blood-clotting chaos, the venom causes severe local tissue damage around the bite site. Flesh breaks down. Necrosis, tissue death, can spread rapidly, sometimes requiring amputation if treatment is delayed. The venom also attacks the kidneys. Acute kidney failure is one of the leading causes of death in Russell's viper victims, even in patients who survive the immediate crisis. Some survivors develop permanent kidney damage and require dialysis for life. And in some documented cases, the venom triggers a devastating hormonal collapse. The pituitary gland, the master gland at the base of the brain, shuts down. This leads to a condition called Sheehan's syndrome in some bite victims, leaving them dependent on hormone replacement therapy for the rest of their lives. One bite, one snake, and the damage can last a lifetime. The death toll from Russell's viper bites is not just about venom. It is about everything that surrounds the bite. Most victims are bitten in rural areas, hours from a hospital, hours from antivenom. The window for effective treatment is narrow. Every hour the venom works uninterrupted, the damage deepens. Antivenom exists. It works. But it must be administered early, and it must be the correct formulation. The Russell's viper has regional variations. Different populations across Asia produce slightly different venoms, and an antivenom made for Indian populations may not fully neutralize venom from a Myanmar specimen. Then there is behavior. farmers bitten at night, working in the dark. Many do not see the snake at all. They feel a sharp pain and assume an insect. By the time they recognize the symptoms, swelling, bleeding gums, blurred vision, hours have passed. And in some rural communities, the first response is still a traditional healer, not a hospital. Every minute spent outside of medical care is a minute the venom is working. This combination, potent venom, rural isolation, delayed treatment, is what makes the Russell's viper the deadliest snake by human death count. Not the most venomous, the most deadly. There is a difference. Here is what most people miss about this snake. It is not a monster. It is an animal doing exactly what it evolved to do. The Russell's viper controls rodent populations across Asia. Without it, the damage to crops, to food supplies that millions of people depend on, would be significant. Farmers who fear it also, in a very real way, depend on it. It does not chase humans. It does not seek them out. When threatened, it does give warning. A loud, distinctive hiss, one of the loudest of any snake in the world, sometimes described as sounding almost like a kettle boiling. It coils, inflates its body, and signals danger before it strikes. Most bites happen because the warning was not seen or heard. In the dark, in thick vegetation, by someone who stepped too close before the snake had a chance to speak. Herpetologists who study this snake describe a grudging respect. It is, they say, perfectly engineered for what it does. Ancient, efficient, unapologetic. So back to the question we started with. What is it that the Russell's viper does that no other snake quite replicates? It is this. It does not just kill you. It dismantles the very system your body uses to survive damage. It turns your blood against you. It shuts down organs one by one, kidneys, hormonal systems, clotting cascades, while tissue breaks down at the bite site. It leaves survivors changed, sometimes permanently. That is the brutal signature of Daboia russelii. Not speed, not the highest venom toxicity on any chart, but a systemic, cascading destruction that is extraordinarily difficult to stop once it has started. And somewhere out there right now, in a paddy field, along a country path, in the dry scrub at the edge of a village, that snake is coiled, waiting, doing exactly what it has done for millions of years. It does not need to be the most venomous snake in the world. It just needs one thing to go wrong. If this video reached you, subscribe. There is more where this came from. Next time, we are looking at a creature smaller than your thumbnail that has killed more human beings than almost any war in history. You think you know which animal it is, you probably do not. Stay with us.